What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs? We are literally sitting on the couch, just watched Elimination Chamber. We're going to turn it down a little bit because we have a talking smack on the background. But you are listening to another episode of Rebellion Wrestling Radio, and as always, I'm your host Ryan, aka Mr. Showtime, and we're coming at you live right here on the Stolen Show Network at Spreaker.com. I'm here with a familiar face, a familiar voice of the show. You got a new role, like a new, you have a new stamp of approval. Yeah. He's our pay-per-view analyst, my boy Chase Merriman. What's going on, dude?
Pay-per-view analyst and role from afar of odds and ends, I guess you could say. Weird, cool pop culturally things too.
That's right. So this is a very raw episode.
Raw like Monday night tomorrow night.
Yeah, but
so I'm kind of curious now with this pay-per-view what Raw is going to be like. Now I'm kind of interested in really checking out Raw to see how they'll follow up from this interesting pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true. And I was I was doing the live tweeting, the live tweets for the show as we were watching the Chamber, and I'm sorry, I'm watching Mickie James. She's just so hot. I'm just watching this right now. But
both Alexa and Mickie James.
Yeah, of course.
So, it's like
and I seen a lot of people really digging the show. Seen some people kind of hating on it. Some things that really stood out was the new structure of the Chamber, which I definitely want to get to. A lot of hate for the commentary tonight.
A lot of hate. That's probably the biggest complaint was the commentary.
Exactly. Well, it's 4-man commentary.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how David Otunga still has a job.
I don't know how. I think everybody feels the same way. It's like how this man still has a job.
I know, right? I know.
Maybe they can impeach him or whatever they do. To get rid of people. Like there's that tweet going around now. It's Fire Otunga.
Oh, that is like a hashtag now?
That is now a hashtag.
Okay, well there we go. So dude, let's recap the show. Okay, this is we're literally sitting here eating pizza, watching the show.
The fact that you had a pre-show match it was kind of an odd pre-show match to start off with, though, really, with Kurt Hawkins and Mojo, and then the fact that Carmella was like a host on the pre-show too. Yeah,
what the hell was that about? Like, I knew about Sam Roberts coming on, and I know they usually have some kind of talent on there other than Booker T and Renee, but what was is Carmella like the new Eva Marie pretty much? Like she's like, oh, somebody come over here and take off my headset for me and watch my hair and this and that, and I don't understand her role,
Yeah, I don't understand her role either. With her and James Ellsworth, I guess they have to find something for both of them to do for right now. Because the women's division is kind of loaded, so they're like, hey, we're going to have you stay busy while we have Mickie James and Becky and Alexa and now Naomi. Yeah, that's kind of that was kind of interesting. And then, of course, it led us into the awesome entrance of Gronkowski. So let's have a match.
I know, right?
Can you imagine Bret Hart tweeting out Stone Cold back in 97, Stone Cold, you're not all that great, or I'm the best there is, best there was, and then, Stone Cold tweeting. I mean, Stone Cold probably would be every explicit imaginable on Twitter they could post it, but
that's right. So yeah, you heard it there. This match was built upon 140 characters or less. So okay, we're big Mojo Rawley fans, big Kurt Hawkins fans. I think we were talking through the match we kind of knew at the end of the day, Mojo was going to get the win. He's the one getting the push. But, the whole thing was, we really want to have something going on for Kurt Hawkins.
Absolutely.
I think we were talking about, maybe, pair him up with somebody on the SmackDown roster, build him up a little bit. Because he kind of, made a re-debut. And, the first instinct is put him with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's hurt. Speaking of which, this is the first commentary issue. Number one, it was, I think once or twice I heard Otunga call Hawkins Ryder.
Yes.
And it really pissed me off for some reason. I do like Mojo's new move, the weird, fireman's carry into, belly flop slam. Do you know the name of that?
I have no idea. I just like with that punch that he does. I wish he would do like because a couple of times he would do like a football type tackle. He played football, so use like a football move. That's what I would use for him.
Like Hexogen Duggan.
Like Duggan and like what Dr. Death used to use, especially the Duggan move. But yeah, Mojo could be like the next Jim Duggan. That's what he reminds me of.
There you go. So Mojo Rawley does get the win over Kurt Hawkins. Pretty obvious there. But good match, though. There was a point in the match where referee got distracted. It really looked like Hawkins was going to get the win. So it was, competitive for a random match that was announced kind of just out of thin air. So we kick off the Elimination Chamber with one of the 3 women's matches, which were all great matches, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We had Mickie James taking on Becky Lynch. Obviously, there was that feud between Becky and Mickie going back to the La Luchadora thing or whatever it was, and making Mickie James return to the SmackDown roster. I thought it was, it was pretty good. It was a good opener. I always Becky gets the crowd hype, especially with her entrance. Good for kids. I know one thing that you commented on was we would really like to see Mickie kind of get out of her 2006 era, persona. Do you think that they keep? I think I told you my idea. I think that they're keeping her like this for the purpose of people who don't know who she is and did not watch TNA. So they can kind of pair what she looks like and her music up with what they can find on a network. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. Who would have thought, let's be honest, too, in 2017 that we would have 3 women's matches on a pay-per-view?
I know that. That's a really cool thing, honestly. And this is probably why I continue to like SmackDown a little bit more than Raw, just because their shows and their pay-per-views are outside the box. And I think you and I and some other friends of mine, some other people in the group, we all agreed that this was kind of a weak looking card on paper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was a very weak looking card on paper. Maybe that's why they had 3 women's matches, but the fact too that you had one match was a weird handicap match. And once again, the question is, where is Jack Swagger? Is he just going to get fired, or what's the story here?
I don't know what he's doing. But, going back to the point of it being...
Jack Swagger really was the only wrestler not on the card tonight, I think, that was not injured.
That's true, yeah. There's some other people, but... when we talked about, the card looking weak on paper, I think the card really did deliver. And then, kicking off with the Mickie James and Becky Lynch match, they had that history. There was, obviously Becky and Mickie kind of going back and forth and whatnot. And I enjoy the match. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, Becky is she's fun to watch. And I think she always delivers because she's a really good wrestler. So I give it, the match was decent. It had a fun finish to it, with the roll up. And, Becky didn't use her finisher. So I think there's still some kind of bad blood left. I still think Becky and Mickie have at least one more match. But, it makes you wonder. Becky said she wants Charlotte. Does Becky go after Charlotte at WrestleMania, and then you have Sasha versus Bayley, or?
That is true. Yeah, she did say that in the little Q&A section on the pre-show. So, yeah, that remains to be seen, especially with Charlotte kind of just running through competition over on Raw. Might be nice to see a cool interpromotional match. From here, I'm trying to just go by memory. Did we have the tag team turmoil? No. We had the weird 2-on-1 match.
We had the weird 2-on-1 match where American knocked a Mexican into the wall.
I know. You're the only one I think would make that reference. But yeah, as Kalisto's making his way to the ring, Dolph jumps him, throws him into the LED. So Kalisto's out of the match for probably about a good portion. This is when the WWE Network was kind of going in and out for us. So we missed probably about 3 or 4 minutes of this match trying to
spared.
Yeah, so we probably, I don't know what it was, but Dolph Ziggler obviously going with the crazy psychotic heel role, and then we had Kalisto that came back out to the match. Really kind of pissed me off because then Apollo Crews and Kalisto got the win. This weird 2-on-1 stipulation there.
And then everybody was kind of upset about that they won too. Like you didn't really hear a cheers. Like people were actually thanking Dolph Ziggler for basically trying to break Apollo Cruz's ankle.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, Dolph goes nuts after the match, hitting everybody with chairs. Then he pulls like the old steel chair on the ankle move. Like if everybody wants to go back to like Brian Pillman and Steve Austin and Bret Hart and all that back from '97. So he smashes both of Apollo Cruz's ankles. I personally am hoping this will give like Apollo some time to like be off TV for a minute, maybe get himself repackaged, come back as an angry dude because he smiles too much. So way too much. That's all it is. I think Apollo Crews is an excellent talent. He's just his character, his gimmick is just it's not what I want. I just for a guy like that, they should push him a little bit further, but they got to give him a good character.
Question 2. The other thing I was wondering is I thought maybe tonight we would see Ty Dillinger because we don't know if Ty Dillinger's on Raw or SmackDown. He came out to the Royal Rumble at number 10, and
he's still in NXT.
Yeah, he's been doing NXT live events.
Well, no, he's still in NXT on the TV too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would they put him in the Royal Rumble then?
Well, you guys have like surprise guys. Like Tommy was in there, and then he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. But like Bo Dallas did like the Royal Rumble, and then he was still in NXT for a while. Okay. So like they do that here and there. Rusev did it when he was in NXT. So
honestly, they should have put Ty Dillinger. Also, should have came tonight and premiered.
Well, yeah. Well, he's still feuding with like Eric Young Insanity. So I think honestly right now Dillinger needs to stay down in NXT just because they just brought Joe up and you need a little bit of star power there.
SmackDown needs more people.
Yeah, well not as bad as NXT does.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I mean that's Dillinger's definitely going to be down there for a little bit, but on the flip side, he is definitely showing a lot of promise and definitely one of their top 10 guys.
What was his name that got super kicked by Shawn Michaels?
Gavin Spears.
That's
right. So yeah, we thought we were going to see. Can we talk about these T-shirts that you saw with Dolph Ziggler on them tonight?
Yes. So the shirt tonight for the promotional Elimination Chamber had Dolph Ziggler instead of Dean Ambrose. So obviously, whoever created this shirt screwed up royally. That or they just wanted to put somebody else besides Ambrose on.
Or maybe it was like last minute to put Ambrose in the match.
Yeah, it could have been last minute. We're not really sure, but everybody was like, the Twitter and internet was running amok of like, oh my gosh, is Dolph Ziggler going to come in? Because I thought for sure Dolph Ziggler was probably going to knock out Ambrose and come in, but obviously it was basically they screwed up.
Yeah, so the whole night, I'm like, every time they cut to the back, I'm like, oh, we're going to get like an injury angle or something like that. Or even when Ambrose was coming out to the ring, we thought that was going to be the case, but that was not the case. It was just a case of a messed up T-shirt. So whoever bought that, you have yourself a collector's item. So moving on, next we had the Tag Team Turmoil match. We had
which was actually surprisingly a decent match. I think a lot of people weren't sure how to take it. It was better than I anticipated. Would this have been a much better Elimination Chamber match? Absolutely. It would have been awesome if that was an Elimination Chamber match.
Well, considering how the structure is now, I think it would have worked out really well. But so we had I'm not going to go through all the eliminations here, but I'm just going to go through. We had Breezango in there. We had Rhino and Slater. We had the Usos. We had
the Ascension, who had a chance to win it.
Yeah, we had the Ascension, the Vaudevillains,
and then should have won it.
And then American Alpha. So
how about the Usos? Usos are like pretty much were like the highlight of this because of the fact they beat the living crap out of the American Alpha, but still to no avail because American Alpha won. So I'm assuming the Usos and American Alpha are going to continue the feud.
I'm thinking, yeah, because some of like the high points of the match we saw, some Breezango, and their crazy outfits.
And
the tickets. The whole thing with the Usos attacking American Alpha after they were eliminated by American Alpha, it really led you to think, okay, well, the Ascension's winning. Okay. Ascension came in, hit the Follow Man right away on Jason Jordan, but Chad Gable didn't make the save there. American Alpha did come back, get the win. So it kind of sucked because what's the point of doing that post-match beatdown unless, like you said, they're going to be continuing the feud between the Usos and American Alpha. But, you know, it's just...
So they said the Ascension are the Falcons and the American Alpha are the Patriots. They are, because literally the Ascension was like the Falcons. They were dominating the whole thing, and then all of a sudden the Patriots, American Alpha comes back and wins the match.
Yeah, it's true. So that kind of sucks, you know. You don't, they want to see them look like jabronis, but they kind of did.
Yeah.
From here,
we had
Natalya versus
Nikki Bella.
So
Nikki Bella looked great, and her Phoenix Suns outfit, I thought, you know, it was kind of cool wearing that for being in Phoenix, which is close to Scottsdale.
It's true. And then a lot of people know how I feel about Natty. I'm sorry, I don't like Natty. I'm not a fan. I think she's annoying. She needs to go back to the farting gimmick because she doesn't know how to put on a sharpshooter. So, you know, despite that, this was a really good brawl. A lot of trash talk from Natty. A lot of references to the whole John Cena and, you know, Total Divas stuff going on. This match ended in a double countout. And there was some, before even that spot, though, there was a lot of real cool high spots there. Some cool submission spots where it really looked like Natty was going to tap. There was what was that, like that weird suplex thing from the top?
There was also the STFU.
The STFU that Nikki puts on way better than John. And but you know, this match turned into a double count out. They were brawling even after the match. And yeah, you know, it's probably going to continue. We did get later on, there's the rumors going on the internet where maybe Nikki Bella is not healing correctly as far as her neck surgery. She's having some issues. And we talked about, well, maybe they'll do an injury angle. Lo and behold, they did an interview with Nikki Bella a little bit later on in the show where Natalya did attack her. Now, I did not catch this, but Chase caught it. In the middle of this brawl, Maurice was in the background, and she got covered in, like, what was it, like makeup and stuff?
It was some kind of white stuff, yeah, powdery white stuff, yeah.
Which kind of thinks that, you know, that's going to lead into this rumor, John Cena and Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice match at WrestleMania, and that's kind of like either a nod to it or a just planting the seeds to it. So kudos to WWE, whether you're trolling us or you're actually doing it. That was a clever way to do that. And also possibly we can get Nikki, you know, off TV for a couple weeks. You know, if she's not feeling good, want her to be able to heal. But I do want to see a payoff in this feud between her and Natty because, like I mentioned when we were watching it, this is one feud that WWE has at least stuck to since, like, Survivor Series. Or, yeah, like leading up to Survivor Series. So yeah, there's that. Am I missing any matches? Oh, Divas title. Did I just say Divas title? Women's title.
Women's title.
Smack.
I don't think that was next. That was the...
What do we have next?
We had the...
Orton and Luke Harper. So this was the one I was looking forward to that, like, didn't really... I don't want to say it let me down, but it was kind of like...
It was, it was, I mean, it was decent, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like, I would pay $10 to go see type. It was like I would pay $5 to see. Good. Yeah,
like it didn't deliver. I was really hoping it was going to be like a knockdown, drag out fight, but it was a lot of headlocks, a lot of rest holds, but cool finish. You know, towards the end, things kind of picked up. Nice to see Randy Orton getting the win. RKO out of nowhere, even though
Luke Harper did a terrible job of selling it.
Luke Harper takes the RKO like Kane takes a pedigree. So it's all knees right there. So
saves your body.
I guess so, but you know, it is what it is. Randy Orton gets the win, looking strong going into WrestleMania, obviously. So didn't really think there was going to be a different outcome there unless there was going to be some shenanigans involved. But Luke still looked good. You know, can't complain there. So leading on from here, this is where we get our SmackDown Women's title match. We got Naomi
versus the hometown state girl.
Versus our hometown state girl, your hometown personally, yes. Alexa Bliss. This was a really good match, honestly. This is just...
It was really well together. I was really surprised, you know. The only thing was the ending was a little botched. a couple of the moves, but I mean, other than that, it's I think this is kind of a good change of having Naomi win. WWE is run by very conservative people, and Naomi being black, I think is a great sign that they're willing to change into something unique and different.
Yeah, I don't think that's really. I mean, I don't know if that has to do with anything.
I don't know. Like it's a political stance. I think is good that they're willing to give her a shot.
Yeah, but Sasha just had the title too, so I don't think, and none of that. I don't. To me personally, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just I think that Naomi's been with WWE for a long time. She's put in a ton of work, starting back when she was in NXT, working through the whole Funkadactyls thing.
That was oh my god, I hate the Funkadactyls so much. Why'd you? Oh, that's the worst gimmick in wrestling ever.
I mean, yeah.
That is the worst gimmick ever.
Yeah.
That's worse than the Berserker. That is worse than Gobbledygooker, the Funkadactyls. That was so dumb.
I guess.
Mama, somebody call. It's the dumbest theme song.
But it got over, didn't it?
Of course it did, because it was so stupid.
Exactly. So you should know this. You like all these stupid gimmicks.
I didn't like Brodus Clay. I like Lord Tensei, because he was Albert, and I liked Albert.
Everybody liked Brodus Clay. But no, go back to Naomi. Like, Naomi, honestly, hands down, legit.
Improved.
She's worked her ass off.
She's improved so much. I hated Team Bad. I thought Team Bad.
I love Team Bad. Are you kidding me?
I hated Team Bad.
I think Team Bad was the shit. I wish they'd still bring it back.
I didn't like Team Bad.
I love the shirts and everything.
Too, what's the word I'm using? Not obvious, but kind of obvious. It was kind of like trying to be like the female Nation of Domination.
I guess I don't know. I thought it was just a stable, That's your perception. That's your perception.
Yeah.
That's not my perception.
I'm not racist.
I'm just saying that
I'm just saying it reminded me of trying to be like a female Nation of Domination.
Well, yeah, that's kind of
because it's like, let's have all the black girls together and let's have a whole white girl stable. It's like, that's so racist. Just mix and intergender it.
Well, they had the Bellas and Alicia Fox,
okay,
though.
they had that, yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was, but
the Bellas though really they're kind of mixed because their last name is Hispanic.
Garcia.
Yeah.
So
like the Kardashian, I guess. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. I don't get into all that. I don't know who's what.
To get into race and wrestling because it's like
I don't.
But let's be honest.
In my opinion, it doesn't really have.
Can we just say that we haven't had the one thing I think has been never brought up is the fact that we've never had a true